Hi everyone, today we are going to go over lesson 27 of your Business Math A course. The objectives for this lesson is so you will be able to explain the risk and possible benefits of buying and selling stocks. You'll also be able to calculate the cost, the profit and loss, the annual dividend, and the annual yield of a stock investment. Like usual, we are going to start off with our key terms. The first key term is dividend, which is the money earned as a shareholder of a corporation. A loss is when the amount of money received from the sale of a product or stock is less than the amount you initially invest. Profit is the opposite. The amount of money made on the sale of a product or stock is greater than the amount you initially invested. We have stock, which is a share of ownership in a corporation, and stock certificate, which is proof of ownership in a corporation. So buying stocks, when you purchase a share of stock, such as Snapchat, Facebook, Netflix, etc., you become part owner of that corporation that issued you the stock. So you see this certificate right here? This is what we call the stock certificate. So when you purchase a stock, you will receive a certificate that looks like this. It just shows you that you are the owner or part of the owner. You can go on NASDAQ.com if you ever want to take a look at stocks, if you're ever interested in buying any stocks. You'll see on there, you'll see how much the stocks fluctuate day to day, gives you kind of a good idea if you should invest or not. Alright, we're going to go over the formulas now. First one is cost of stock. To find the cost of the stock, you multiply the cost per share times the number of shares you plan on buying. The total amount paid, because when you pay the total, it's not just the cost of the stock, you are also going to pay commission. And commissions are paid to your stockbrokers or stockbroker, just singular hopefully. So brokers have the legal permission to buy and sell stocks. They're the ones that are licensed to make the stock trade transaction. They can also help you decide which stocks to pursue in. That's why we have to pay them a little bit. Alright, here is an example. We have Vanessa purchased 250 stocks at $8.68 per share. Her online stockbroker charged her a commission of $15 to the nearest cent. What is the total amount that she paid for the stock? So what you want to do is first find the cost of the stock. So remember, we're trying to buy 250 shares, right? 250 shares, and each share is $8.68. So what we need to do is we need to multiply the two together to find out how much the stock is. So the total is $2,170. Next thing is finding the total paid, because that's what the question is asking for, right? So we're going to add the cost of the stock with the commission, giving us $2,170 plus 15 with the final answer of $2,185. So notice that I added the 0.00 at the end. You're thinking, okay, well, it's a whole dollar. Why do we add that? The reason we do that is because the question is asking to the nearest cent. So even though it's a whole dollar, you want to add 0.00 in there. Alright, let's try another one. This time, Kirk is the one purchasing stocks. Kirk purchased 341 shares at $5.96 per share. So his online stockbroker charged him a commission of $17.50. So we want to find the total amount paid. So what we need to do again is find the cost of the stock first, multiplying the number of shares times the cost per share, which is 341 times $5.96, giving us $2,032.36. Now that we have that, we can find the total paid by adding the cost of the stock with the commission. That is going to give us $2,049.86. Alright, now I want you to try one out on your own. I want you to pause the video and then resume it when you are ready. Alright, so question is the same. We're looking for the total amount that Susan paid for the stock. So there were 458 shares at $4.61 per share. So the cost of the stock is going to be $2,111.38. Because remember, we multiply the number of shares, 458, by the cost per share, which is the $4.61. The next step is to find the total paid. We're going to do cost of stock plus the commission. That is $2,123.88. So that's how much Susan paid in total for the stock. Alright, so earlier we discussed buying stocks. Now we're going to go over selling them. So let's go over some reasons why you might be selling your stock. So you might need the money. So let's say you have something major expense coming up. It could be your wedding, it could be buying a house, it could be your kids going to college, etc., whatever the reason may be. You might need the money, so you will sell your stocks. Another one is company's performance, or dividend was cut by the company is bankrupt, two companies merge into one. So all of these right here are reasons from the company, different changes in the company. You're not exactly sure how the company is going to go, in the next month, in the next year. So you rather, cut your losses, minimize it by selling it right now. If it's going bankrupt, chances are it's going to go down, right? So you want to sell it as soon as you find out. So those are some reasons you might. Another one is stock becoming overvalued. So if the stock has increased by a good amount, selling the stock might be a great idea. You can use that money to put into other stocks that might be cheaper. Last one, better stocks have come into the market. Kind of what I mentioned. Invest in the cheaper ones. New inventions might mean potential success. Of course, before buying stocks, you guys want to make sure you are doing research and seeing if it's good or not. So that's why, you might want to sell something that costs more for something that's newer, a new invention, all that good stuff. All right, what are some risks to investing in stocks? One, returns are not guaranteed. It's not like you're putting your money into a savings account or a CD where you know you're going to get more than what you put in. Stocks, there's no guarantee. It fluctuates. That's what I mentioned. When you go on NASDAQ.com, you can kind of see that. We can look at trends. We can look at trends and assume it could go up because it's been going up. But what if it hit its peak already? That means it might just go down. So we never know. It can change for many, many different reasons. And the next one, company can go bankrupt and stocks for that company could decrease to zero. So you're losing out on money that you invested. So as soon as you find out that company is going bankrupt, you can sell your stock so that you are minimizing your loss. All right, profit versus loss. So when you sell your stock, did you earn more than what you paid for? If If you earn more than what you paid for, that's what we call a profit. If you earn less than what you paid for, we consider that a loss. So you want to weigh that before you make any decisions. And keep in mind, when we're trying to find if it's a profit or loss, you want to include the commission in that amount. So with that being said, we're going to go into the formulas. Selling stock. So you want to first find the net sale. To find the net sale, you get the amount of the sale and you subtract the commission from that. Once you get that, you can find if it's a profit or a loss by using this formula, net sale minus investment. So using this formula, if your answer is negative, then you have a loss. If your answer is positive, then you have a profit. So we're going to go over an example. Susie bought 1,200 shares of stock for $30,816. So she sold the stock for $25 per share and paid a sales commission of $24. So what is the profit or loss from the sale? So we're trying to see how much and was it a profit or a loss? So we're going to find the net sale, take the amount of sale and subtract the commission from that. Amount of sale is just multiplying the cost per share with the number of shares. So Susie sold $25 per share and she sold all 1,200 shares. So that's going to be $30,000. So she sold for $30,000 in total. And remember, we need to subtract the commission from that because that's not, we paid for that. We want to make sure that's not counted towards it, giving us $29,976. So right off the bat, looking at that, we have a net sale of $29,976. Comparing that to how much she bought it for, sold for $29,976, bought for $30,816. Looking at those two numbers, we know that Susie suffered a loss in these stocks, or this stock, right? But exactly how much? To find out, we're going to use the second formula given, which is net sale minus investment. That is $29,976 minus $30,816, giving us negative $840. Remember I mentioned earlier, a negative answer means a loss. So if you couldn't make that connection before we did the second step, you should know negative is a loss, positive is a profit. Alright, so there was an $840 loss from the sale. Now I want you to try one out on your own. I want you to pause the video and then resume it when you are ready. Alright, let's go over this one. So again, before we can find out if it's a profit or a loss, we need to find out what the net sale was. So he sold for $87 per share for 1,650 shares, giving us $143,550. So that's how much he sold it for. To find the net sale, subtract the commission from that, giving us $143,494. So comparing that number with the amount he bought it for, we can tell that James had a pretty good profit. How much exactly? That's what we're going to find out using the formula net sale minus investment. It's 143,494 minus 129,756. There's a profit of $13,738. That is pretty cool. All right. Now we're going to go over dividends. So this is from the text. Dividend is the money you earn as a shareholder of the company. So you may receive an amount specified by the corporation for each share of stock that you own. So the annual yield is your annual proceeds from holding a stock, and it's expressed as a percent of the price. So the higher you yield, so percentage wise, the more the amount of your return will be. So if a company or corporation earns a profit, they may pay shareholders part of that profit. So that's dividend. All right. So here's the formula. The total annual dividend is equal to the annual dividend per share times the number of shares. So that's how we find the amount. All right, and the annual yield is the annual dividend per share divided by the cost per share. So here's an example question. Thomas owns 350 shares of Orlando Company stock. The stock ranged from a low of $57.65 to a high of $61.68 last year. The annual dividend is $2.53. What's the annual yield based on the high? So keep in mind the high and the low when you're answering these questions. They give you two different numbers. They give you the stock could be worth as low as $57.65 or as high as $61.68. So it fluctuates between those two numbers. However, the question is asking for the high only. So we're going to use $61.68 in our formula. All right, so the annual dividend, so Thomas got back $2.53. So what was the yield? We get $2.53, divide that by the high of $61.68, giving us 0.0410. The question is asking us to round to the nearest tenth of a percent. Our answer right now is in decimal. So you want to go ahead and convert into a percent by moving your decimal 2 to the right, which means it would be right there. But because we're only rounding to the nearest tenth, you only need one decimal place. That is why I have written 4.1%. Alright, I want you to try one out. Notice this one isn't giving us a high or a low, so you're just going to use the information given. So go ahead and try this out on your own, pause the video, and then resume when you have an answer. Alright, so same formula, annual yield equals annual dividend per share divided by the cost per each share. So 97 cents divided by 64.28, giving us 0.01509. This time we're looking for nearest hundredth of a percent. So before we round, we need to convert it into a percent. Again, move your decimal 2 to the right. Right? And so this time we get 1.51%. We need two decimal places. And the number to the right side, we had 1.509. Looking at this number, it's greater than 5, or it's 5 or greater, so we need to round the 0 up to a 1, giving us the 1.51%. Alright, now this time, they give us the dividend. They give us everything we're looking for, the total annual dividend. Right? So what we're going to do is get the dividend per share, which is $1.29 per share. We're going to multiply that to 450 shares. So that means Matthew, at the end of the year, had a total dividend of $580.50. It's actually not too bad. Alright, one more. Again, I want you to pause the video, try it out, and then resume when you are ready. Alright, for this one, we're going to do the same thing as the previous slide. We're going to multiply the $1.38 with the total number of shares, which is 480 shares, multiplied together, giving us $662.40. And that's all that we have for this lesson. If you need any help, please do not hesitate to reach out to me.